The next day, Lu arrives at a convenience store, noticeably late. Shin scolds her for being 2 hours late to work. However, Lu seems to take the situation lightly, brushing it off casually. As they start working, Shin notices something unusual. Detergent has been placed on the juice counter. This irks him, and he tells Lu to be more careful and organized with her work. Despite his advice, Lu remains careless, shoving things randomly into the shelves. Observing her behavior, Shin asks her if she has ever worked before. Lu responds, explaining that she has. In the past, she helped her father dig holes and bury sacks of things, though she doesn't elaborate further. Frustrated, Shin complains to Sakamoto, asking him to fire Lu for disrupting the work environment. Surprisingly, Sakamoto, who rarely speaks, suddenly starts talking. He tells Shin that such behavior is unnecessary and asks Lu to apologize. Both Shin and Lu are shocked to hear Sakamoto speak so much, as he usually remains quiet. Sakamoto continues talking, and his unusual behavior unnerves Shin. Suddenly, another Sakamoto appears, walking in silently and sitting down in his usual spot. The old Sakamoto then reveals that the person who had been speaking was an imposter. He removes a mask from the doppelganger's face, exposing someone else underneath. The imposter admits that he had disguised himself as Sakamoto and reveals that he is actually Sakamoto's friend. He introduces himself, saying he also works at a nearby convenience store and claims to be 18 years old. This surprises Shin and Lu because he looks much older. Sakamoto then clarifies that his friend is actually 27 years old and used to work with him as a hitman. Hearing this, both Shin and Lu are left dumbfounded. The situation escalates as they tie up the imposter in a chair, demanding more information. He explains that there is now a 1 billion yen bounty on Sakamoto's head, which has been officially announced by the JAA. The news is fresh, but many assassins are likely already aware and preparing to come after Sakamoto. The revelation shocks everyone, and they brace themselves for the chaos that is about to follow. And then a pizza delivery arrives. As soon as Shin reads the delivery guy's mind, he is shocked to discover that the man is also an assassin who has come for Sakamoto. The delivery guy appears overconfident and quickly takes Nagumo hostage. However, Sakamoto remains calm and unbothered, not giving the situation much attention. Surprisingly, Nagumo, despite being held hostage, sneaks behind the delivery guy and starts choking him. Just as Nagumo is about to finish him off, Sakamoto stops him, advising against it. Nagumo halts but asks Sakamoto what his plan is to handle the situation without killing anyone, especially since more assassins are likely to come. The tension in the room grows heavy, but Nagumo suddenly laughs, saying he was only joking. Nagumo then reminisces about the old days, smiles, and decides to leave, taking the subdued delivery guy with him. Before leaving, he warns the others that no more amateurs should be sent after Sakamoto. Meanwhile, it's revealed that all their actions were being watched through hidden cameras by another group of assassins. The watchers discuss their next move, noting that their first agent, the pizza guy, has failed. One of them suggests that to defeat Sakamoto, they need to play smart using time, location, and other factors against him. However, some members of the group remain confident, believing that since Sakamoto has been retired for 5 years, he won't pose much of a challenge. Suddenly, Sakamoto looks directly at one of the hidden cameras and says, "If you even think about stalking me, I'll show you what hell looks like." This shocks the assassins watching the feed, as they realize he has detected their surveillance. The scene shifts to a while later, where Shin and Sakamoto are sitting together. Shin worries about the increasing number of assassins coming after them, wondering how they'll handle it if this continues. Sakamoto advises that they should stay as low profile as possible since they don't know who their real enemy is. At that moment, Hana enters, excited and cheerful, announcing that they're going to the amusement park the next day. Sakamoto's face falls, realizing that visiting a public place like an amusement park is a terrible idea in their current situation. The next scene shows the group at the amusement park the following day. Aoi and Hana are ecstatic, enjoying the rides, while Sakamoto, Shin, and Lu appear tense and uneasy. Sakamoto even starts feeling sick after overindulging in food before getting on a ride. During their visit, Hana talks about how they've come to see Sugar Bunny, a character known for being incredibly strong. While Sakamoto's family is excited and carefree, Sakamoto and Shin remain on edge, deeply worried about the danger looming over them. At this point, Shin explains that they currently have 2 priorities. First, stopping any enemies targeting them, and second, allowing Sakamoto to enjoy his family time. Lu then questions how they'll identify their enemies. Shin responds by revealing that he can read the thoughts of anyone within a 30-meter radius. Hearing this, Lu freaks out, accusing him of having read her mind as well. Suddenly, Shin picks up on some critical information and warns Sakamoto about an enemy nearby. He pinpoints the location of the threat, identifying a suspicious worker. Lu, meanwhile, distracts Sakamoto's family, giving Sakamoto the opportunity to approach the worker unnoticed. In one swift move, Sakamoto stabs the worker in the chest with a pen, avoiding vital organs and arteries to ensure the man doesn't die. Shin and Lu quickly subdue the worker, and Lu marvels at Sakamoto's precision and skill, noting that he didn't even look directly at his target. Shin explains that this is just the tip of the iceberg of Sakamoto's abilities. Meanwhile, another assassin watches from a distance. This assassin has detailed information about both Sakamoto and Shin, and he begins strategizing how to avoid Shin's mind-reading ability. He concludes that the best way to escape detection is to stop thinking altogether. With this strategy in mind, he walks right past Shin without being noticed, proving that his trick works. The scene shifts to the group on a roller coaster. Lu notices the suspicious assassin and points him out, saying he looks shady. Shin dismisses her, telling her not to judge people so quickly. However, the assassin, hearing Lu's comment, wonders if he unintentionally gave himself away. This realization triggers Shin's abilities, and he immediately alerts Sakamoto that the man is indeed an enemy. The assassin wastes no time and pulls out a gun, aiming at Sakamoto. But Sakamoto uses his specially designed bulletproof glasses to deflect the shot, leaving the assassin stunned. In the chaos, Shin unfastens his safety bar and leaps off the roller coaster, landing directly on the assassin. He quickly unclips the man's safety belt, pulling him down to the ground. Both of them crash onto the roller coaster track below. As they recover from the fall, the assassin remarks that Shin must be insane to pull such a dangerous stunt. But Shin is already prepared to fight. However, the assassin doesn't move a muscle and remains eerily calm, confusing Shin. To make matters worse, Shin finds himself unable to read the man's mind, leaving him unsure of what the assassin is planning. At the last moment, Shin jumps just in time to avoid an incoming roller coaster. While in midair, the assassin lunges at him with a knife. Shin dodges the first attack, but the second swipe grazes him, leaving a small cut. The knife is laced with poison, which causes Shin to lose his balance and blurs his vision. The assassin mocks Shin, taunting him by saying he's as good as dead. Despite his condition, Shin retorts that the assassin is overconfident. However, the assassin claims to have seen fear in Sakamoto's eyes, a fear of death, which, in his view, makes Sakamoto a loser. Shin angrily dismisses this as nonsense and counters, explaining that Sakamoto doesn't fear death. His only fear is failing to protect his family. As the roller coaster loops back around, Shin takes a small leap and grabs the assassin, slamming him onto the coaster. They engage in hand-to-hand combat as the ride hurtles forward. The assassin tries to stab Shin again, but Shin barely manages to hold him off. With his vision impaired, Shin finds himself at a major disadvantage. In a desperate move, he uses his mind-reading ability to locate Hana in the distance. Seizing the opportunity, he grabs the assassin and leaps off the coaster, both of them crashing to the ground near a stage where a costumed hero, Sugar Bunny, is entertaining children. Shin quickly dons the Sugar Bunny costume, blending into the performance. The assassin, confused but relentless, attacks Shin again with his knife. Despite his blurred vision, Shin expertly dodges the strikes and lands a powerful punch, leaving the assassin stunned. The assassin can't comprehend how Shin is evading his attacks without being able to see. Frustrated, he tries again, but Shin counters every move and relentlessly beats him down. Meanwhile, Hana and Aoi cheer from the audience, oblivious to the real battle taking place. They believe Sakamoto is enjoying the show with them, but in reality, Sakamoto is guiding Shin through the fight via earpiece, giving him precise instructions on how to counter the assassin's moves. Following Sakamoto's guidance, Shin gains the upper hand and finally knocks the assassin out, ending the fight. The children watching the stage cheer loudly, believing it to be part of the Sugar Bunny performance. As the battle concludes, Sakamoto tells Shin to wrap things up, and Shin claims victory. The episode ends with everyone, including the kids, thoroughly entertained. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel for more. See you in the next one. Until then, take care.